Hey toy friends, so today in this video I'm going to be starting a new series on the channel. I think I'm going to call it Toy Tuesdays, and I'm going to be featuring non-doll items. So any kind of toys, action figures, collectibles, stuff like that. So hopefully you enjoy these videos, but I will continue doing what I've been doing with posting doll videos every Friday, live streaming every Wednesday. So this is kind of like an additional thing. And I don't know if it's going to be every week. It might be every other week, or I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet, but here we go. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Toy Tuesdays. So in this episode, I'm very excited because this is the Mondo Orco figure. So Orco is my absolute favorite Masters of the Universe character. I'm looking at my collection of Orco figures. I pretty much have all of the official Orco figures that have come out through the years, and in addition I have like other like Orco things. If you want an Orco kind of tour, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I am so excited for this figure because this came out, and this is a 1/6 scale Orco, which is by far the largest Orco that I will have in my collection. And I remember when this came out like early 2024, maybe mid 2024. And I remember vaguely seeing it coming out and being like, okay, it's $235. And at the time, I was just like, I don't know if I want to spend that for an Orco figure. He comes with a bunch of other stuff, and we'll get into that when I open it, but I passed on him at the time, and then I quickly regretted it afterwards, after that window closed, after they sold out. And I've been on the hunt for this figure ever since. And luckily I came across an eBay listing that I basically almost paid what it sold for retail. I paid a little more actually, but it was pretty close. So I am so happy. And here is the box. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this box so we can look at the other box. I am so beyond happy to have this. This makes me so happy. So here is the box. It's a pretty substantial box just because of the size of the figure and all the other things that are included with it. But yeah, on the front here we have an illustration of Orco performing some magic, which is super fun. And then on the side here we have Mondo 1/6 scale collectible figure, the Masters logo. It says Orco Deluxe Edition. And then on the other side is the same. And then on the back, that's a little blurb here, and I'll read it to you real quick. It says, "Behold the wizardry of Orco the Magnificent. Though small in stature, the heroic court magician holds a powerful position as official magical jester in residence at the royal palace of Eternia. He also possesses an important royal secret. Arriving from the planet Trolla, his mercurial powers regularly summon exciting adventures, among other things. But armed with his scepter and magic transporter, the loyal Orco is sure to float out of trouble with his friends Prince Adam and He-Man." So there's your backstory if you're not familiar with Orco. But yeah, and I don't know, did I mention this is from Mondo? Mondo is a toy company. They do a lot of collector limited edition figures, specifically from Masters of the Universe. They also do a bunch of other lines like Turtles and a bunch of other things. But anyway, then we open him up. Ta-da! So here he is, and very reflective. You cannot see anything. That's perfect. But yeah, on the inside, there's a photo of the figure. There's like a stock photo, so that's really cool. So what I'll do is I will just take him out of the box and we will take a closer look. Okay, I just want to show you how this is packaged. There are like layers of plastic. It's like nested, which is really interesting. So many nests. But anyway, let me get him out. Okay, so I just unpacked all the accessories and everything. There's a lot of stuff that comes with this Orco. I will say, number one, the smell of plastic was very intense and very strong. I feel like I'm a little high right now, but you know, that's fine. So let me show you some accessories first before we get to the main Orco. So here is his stand. So the bottom of the stand has this like stone, kind of clear stone pattern. And then the actual stand itself is jointed. So you can position it in various ways, which is really nice because he is a hovering character. So it makes sense that they would include this kind of flexibility with the stand. So I appreciate that. And then we have these two other stands, which are for two other figures that they included, which we'll get to in a second. So this also includes a few other characters. The first character is called, I had to look this up, it's Dimer the Demon. So this is him. He is a standalone figure. I'm assuming he's from a specific episode or multiple episodes from the original Filmation series. I don't know who he is, honestly, so I'll need to like look that up, but he's cute. I mean, he doesn't have articulation or anything. He's basically just a solid figure. I did notice his one wing here is kind of like bent over, and I don't think that's supposed to look like that, so I might have to like take like a hairdryer or something to it to make it kind of flex back, but yeah, that's this figure. He also includes this, I believe is a like his like stuffed animal or something, or is like his like toy or buddy or something. Again, I don't know who this character is. It's been a long time since I've watched He-Man, but he is, I'm assuming, from the show as well. And again, he is just a solid figure. And then before we get into the Orco figure, there are two other figures. So we have Drael, who is a female version of Orco. And I actually already have one of Drael. I think it's a Super 7 Drael. It was part of a 2-pack. But I'm really excited to have her in this scale because the one I have is actually smaller, I believe. So it's really fun to kind of have her. But yeah, and then she is articulated, so her arm does move. And I think that's about it. I don't think anything else moves on her, but yeah, this is Drael. And then the other figure they included was a Filmation Orco, which is really cool. They didn't really have to do that, but I'm glad they did. So yeah, this is kind of what he looked like in the He-Man series. So it's pretty accurate to the series. The Drael is also pretty accurate. So very happy about this as well. And his arms do move. So that is nice. And that is who the two extra stands are for. So, all right, so now let's get into Orco's actual accessories. So the first thing we have is this spell book, which again, I don't know if this is from a specific episode, but it's pretty detailed for what it is. And it's just a solid piece of plastic. It doesn't move or anything. There's no, yeah, the pages don't turn or anything. So, but yeah, it's a cute little accessory. And then we have this like scepter wand thing. Again, I don't know if this is from the series or if this is something Mondo kind of came up with, but it's really detailed. Like the sculpting is really intricate. And yeah, it's really nice for what it is. So Mondo has also given us a plethora of hands, so I can swap out his hands for different like poses or whatnot. So right now he comes with like just like relaxed hands, but it looks like we have like these hands, and then we have these like closed fists, or it's like more like a gripping hand. And then this is a fist hand. And then I think there's one more. And I think this one is the other one. These two, there are two that look very similar. And I think they're like spellcasting hands, basically. So that's kind of what that is. But I'm glad for the options, I guess. I never know what to do with extra accessories. I appreciate the extra accessories, so you can kind of like pose your figures or even your dolls with whatever you like. And then it's like, what do you do with the other things that you're not using? So these are probably gonna go in a baggie. So he also comes with two like effect hands. So this first hand is kind of like a blasting hand. So he's like blasting this like green and blue translucent spell or energy or something at someone, or he's conjuring something, which is really fun. So I love that. And then this hand is very similar, where it's more like a circular kind of red and yellow, or pink yellow orange kind of vibes, where it's like spinning. It's like spinning something, you know. And then he does come with two alternate heads, but let me show you the base figure first, and then I'll show you the alternate heads. All right, are you ready for this Orco? I'm very excited to show you this Orco. So here he is. Here is the Mondo 1/6 Orco. Look at how amazing he is. That's his fronts, and then his back. This is like so cool. I cannot get over how much I love this. So if we start at the head, yeah, this is Orko. Yeah, overall, he does have like, it's like the paint job is very like dry brushed looking. So they put like a coat of the paint, and then they probably brushed it with some black to make it look like kind of dirty, which I love. But yeah, he looks more, he's like the Filmation version, but like realistic. If he were like more realistic looking. And that's kind of what Mondo's thing is with their figures, is that they all look very non-cartoonish. So this is their interpretation of Orko, which I think they did a really good job. I actually love that they used actual fabric for his robe. So his sleeves are fabric, and then they are lined with this like gold rope on the cuffs here. And then I wonder if like nothing comes off. It's all like molded on, so I'm not going to take anything off, but his sleeves and the bottom of his robe are fabric, obviously. And it's like tattered at the bottom. There's a little dangly crystals right here. And then he's got some like potions on the back. His arms, or his yeah, he is articulated. So he does have articulation in his head, his shoulder, his elbow, his wrist can move. And then, oh, there might be something at his waist. His waist is like moving a little bit. I mean, he can't really move, but it's interesting that there's like a little bit of movement there. I'm not sure what I'm moving, but there's a tiny bit of movement. And then that's about it for articulation. But I wanted to show you something that they included in this, which is like pretty amazing. So we never really see Orko's body parts. Let me rewind. We never see his legs, but they included his legs in this figure. So are you ready to see Orko's legs? You ready? here are his legs. Look at that. Orko has legs. And you never think about it because you never see him. So I love that they gave him legs. That is so cool. I love that so much. But yeah, so he also has like brown, he's wearing this like brown, these like brown pants or shorts or underwear or whatever you're gonna call them. So they included that like extra detail in there, which is nice because you're probably just gonna display it like this, so you'll never see that. But I like that they included it in there in case you were like, oh, they probably figured a lot of people would be like lifting up his cloak to see his legs, and they're like, oh, we gotta put something in there. So, but yeah, that's really fun. So the other heads I want to show you is he does come with 2 other heads. So we have this head, and this does remove, obviously, because they included it. So I'm pretty sure it's on a ball. Yeah, it's on a ball joint. So I think it just pops right off like that. It's pretty easy. And then we have this head. So this head is a little more like menacing. This is like probably him in like spell casting mode, where he's trying to conjure some magic, which I really like. This kind of reminds me of the Revelation Orco, Revelation Orco, where he doesn't have like the super cartoony eyes. He has more like the like almondy eyes. But yeah, this is him in his alternate head. And this head has a little dangly bit on the tip here, just like three little beads. But yeah, so that's the one head. And then the other head is another like, wow, that's insane. They included an unhooded head. So I have his actual head that you can see him with. So if you want to know what Orko looks like under his little hood there, here you go. I love this so much. I don't know if this is already out there. Like before Mondo made this, I would assume that this was out there, right? I would assume that Mondo wasn't the first to actually like conceptualize that this is what Orko looks like. But yeah, it's pretty amazing to see him without his hood. I prefer him with his hood because it's like classic Orko, but I really love that they gave us this alternate head. Here he is casting his spell on you. Love that. Here he is with his 2 spell casting attachments. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. I really love the way this looks. And here he is holding his staff with his gripping hand. So before I put him in his stand, I just wanted to show you, I don't remember if I showed you, but the actual C-clamp is also on like a joint. So you can widen it or make it thinner, which I think is a really smart idea. I wish they did this for dolls because that would be great if they had like adjustable C-clips so that you don't bust these just in case. But anyway, let me get him on his clamp or on his stand, and I'll show you what he looks like. Here he is on his stand. He looks great. I do love the fact that he can be like floating in the air, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, this is great. So final thoughts on this Mondo Orko 1/6 figure. It's everything and more that I wanted in an Orko figure. And as an Orko fan, I obviously love this. I think if you are just like a casual fan, the price point will probably kind of deter you because $235 is a little steep for a figure like this, which I think is why they included all the other stuff to kind of like make it worth it. So, but for me personally, this is a million times worth the price I paid, even on the secondary market. So yeah, I'm gonna give this Orco a 5 out of 5. So I would definitely recommend picking him up if you can find him at a decent price. He is awesome, and I don't know if he's like my new favorite Orco. He might be my new favorite Orco, honestly. So yeah, let me know what you think of this Orco. Do you have him? Do you want him? If you're unfamiliar with Orco at all, what do you think of the character? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. And thank you as always for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe. I hope you're having a lovely whenever you're watching this, and I will catch you next time.